Hello and welcome to another Skaredcast Battle Report. Today, matched play, Dark Angels, Desolators, triple Tantalus madness. Let's dive into this Death and Zeal mission.
The Dark Killy.
Hello everyone, I'm Skari, this is Matthew.
Hey everybody, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am part of everybody. We're gonna have a game. It's Dark Angels versus Dark Eldar, and we'll see who the better alien is. So we're just setting up. We're going to be playing Death and Zeal out of the Arcs of Omen book. It's 2,000 points. Let's take a look at the armies, and then when we come back, we'll take a look at deployment. And here we have 2,000 points of Arcs of Omen. So starting with a Succubus, it's a Master with Triptych Whip and Precision Blows. A secondary Succubus with the Quicksilver Fighter and the Blood Glaive and a Blast Pistol. 6 Mandrakes, a Beast Pack Master, 5 RavenWing Flocks, 2 Chimera, and a Clawed Fiend. Then we have 10 Hellions, a large block of Hellions, 2 squads of 3 Reaver Jet Bikes for secondaries, 4 squads of 5 Witches with no upgrades, 1 large squad of Blood Brides, 10 strong with a Shardnet and Impaler, Hydra Gauntlets, Blast Pistol, Power Sword, another squad of just Witches, 10 strong with Shardnet and Impaler, Power Weapon, and Blast Pistol, 2 Venoms with 1 cannon each, and of course 3 Tantalus that are going to be filled with Witches. Let's see what the Space Marines have brought to the fight. And here we have 2,000 points of Dark Angels. So Matthew, what did you bring today?
So in the HQ slot, I've got 2 HQs today. 1, you never leave home without your Talon Master, Arbiter's Gaze, and Rites of War for your nice OBSEC bubble. He's joined by the Master of the RavenWing himself, Samael, giving off his Chapter Master rerolls to the wonderful RavenWing stuff we have here today. You then also do not leave home without your RavenWing Apothecary with your wonderful Grenade Launcher and Selfless Healer. And then joined the always killy attack bikes with Multi-Meltas. Finally, moving along the way, we have 2 10-man squads of Black Knights, all with Corvus Hammers. Ignore those swords there. Back, you've got your Dreadwing portion of the list, which is your 3 Desolation squads, sergeants with Vangor launchers, and your Targeter optics, joined for your secondary scoring by the Infiltrators. Also in the back, we've got 2 basic land speeders with Multi-Meltas up top.
There you have it, 2,000 points. We are back after deployment. We did remember that the Dark Angels have a 5-strong unit of scouts, so we just added that in as well. So we went back and forth. Matthew, what is your thought process here?
Well, my thought process is I really don't want to be charged on first turn, and I've got some time today in terms of making up any early game losses. So we're hiding as we normally do as Dark Angels, and we're also in a position to use our pre-game move, maybe come out there, steal a little objective, and put some pressure on the first turn.
I love it. So you've kind of got your Desolators back here. You've got most of your fast stuff. That's the thing, is your army is very fast. Same as mine. Like, we're both very, very fast armies, and we both do... You do a lot more damage at range than I do, so it's going to be an interesting dichotomy. Now, I decided to put my forward deploy my Mandrakes here, mainly to get me a retrieve data if I go first on this side, because it's a lot easier for me to get retrieve data, which brings me to our secondaries. Mine are behind enemy lines. Why wouldn't you take that? It's just so good, being Dark Eldar. Retrieve data and take them alive. I could go for no prisoners, but I want to just kill things in combat with this army, and it also gives me points for killing your characters if I can get to them, and I want to try and kill your characters. So it's like an assassinate, but better, but it also gives me points. So it's, you know, I guess take the no prisoners would also be a good choice in this case. So what did you take?
So I also took behind enemy lines. My list is sort of designed for it with the little singular speeders. Mm-hmm. I'm also taking no prisoners, which is sort of, you know, there's a lot of wounds on the table right now. So it's better. And as a shooty army, you want to try to take some of those kill secondaries. And the final thing I'm taking, and again, just because I have a little bit of movement with the Infiltrators, and I hope to be, by the end of the game, in my opponent's deployment zone, is retrieve data. So in some ways, we picked very similar secondaries.
Very, very similar, but just because our armies work very similar. Now, you're not taking Codex Warfare anymore?
Well, with Devastator being back to 1 point a kill, and most people's armies do not have 15 units, it's really hard to max that now. It's doable, especially with my list. I do have a great range of them. But again, I'm not just playing against Skari where it's possible. I've designed the list to play sort of any comers. So it's just not something I'm focusing on anymore.
Perfect. So a couple of special rules. It's hold 1, hold 2, hold more for the mission. So you get 4 points for every one at the start of your command phases. In this mission, if you control an objective in your command phase with an objective secured unit, it becomes what we call stickied, and you can continue to control it even though your opponent might kill you off it until they take it. Kind of like what Space Marines get with their troops, but it's for the entire game. You also get 2 points for taking an objective that you did not control at the start of your turn. As you can see, you also get it from your home objective. So I have decided not to put anything on my home objective, just move on to it and get 2 points. Just in case everything else goes badly, I'll at least get some points for that. Matthew, of course, is very fast. Because he has so many units, it's hard for him to do that and stay out of line of sight. So he's decided to deploy on his objective. Okay, so with that, I have 1 command point. Matthew, you have 3 command points. And we roll for turn number 1. Now, I like going second in match play games, but I also like going first with this army specifically. So, what about you, Matthew?
Well, in this situation, I think I really want turn number 2, just so I can come out there, eliminate what pops out. And the bottom of turn, especially with behind enemy lines, is just going to be very, very key. So I'm really hoping to lose this roll-off.
Okay, let's see.
And I did.
No, look at the smile on your face. You can probably hear the smile on Matthew's face right now. So with that, it is Drukhari turn number 1. So we each get a command point.
I have to do pregame move.
Think about
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so you're thinking about pregame move. We'll come back after that, and then I'll talk about my plan in general. But if you want a pregame move on your RavenWing units, it costs you 2 CP. And yeah, we'll come back. 2 command points pre-game move, essentially getting the front squad this way, ready to kind of outflank over here. So, with that, it is Dark Eldar turn 1. I am going to basically just look at my points. You have a lot more shooting than I do, so and I can't hide the Tantalus, so I basically going to have to move up and just get points and do what I can do. And with that, let's see how this aggro list gets involved. As I've said before, this list has 0 chill, which means aggro. So what have I done? I disembarked the 2 units of witches from that Tantalus. 1 got out here and is going to essentially... I have to decide if I'm going to do my retrieve data actually in my corner here, because just to get it out of the way, essentially. I'm just going to do my corner. That means the mandrakes are still there, and that's fine. But if you want to shoot the mandrakes, you're not shooting like everything else that you need to kill as well. And I've got another unit in that venom that can do it in that corner, and I still have stuff in this unit that can do this corner. So these Reaver jet bikes boosted up. I did run this unit of witches to try and sticky these 2 objectives. I've also doubled up on this objective with them. However, and then actually in retrospect, I should just make sure this happens right here. Why? Because I need to put 3 different things on this objective to make sure that it's hard for you to kill them. But with +2 movement and +2 to their advance rolls, these Hellions are going to go wherever they want next turn. Like, they're super fast. I advanced with this Tantalus. I advanced with this Tantalus filled with Blood Brides. I moved to this Tantalus filled with Witches. And you were just out of 20 inches from my grenade, so I couldn't get out and advance and charge you because you did move them back, and they were right at 20. And then they decided to go away and not let me do that. So in shooting, my aim is to try and kill as many Desolators as possible. That is literally my goal. Just need to kill 1 squad, even just 1 squad. So I have 2 over here that can see like different squads. I've got 1 that can see 1 squad. So I'm probably going to start shooting at that squad and then go my way around to try and get as many Desolators as I can off of this table. End of turn number 1. So all 3 tantalus did shoot at 1 desolation squad, which you transhumaned.
Correct.
So I was able to just kill one desolation squad.
Correct.
Other sporadic shooting killed 1 bike and put 1 down to 1 wound remaining, which means you are going to just be able to bring them back. And I did get 1 bike to 1 wound here with a charge and a couple of other shots as well. Now, I didn't hit anything with my tantalus. I did the mortal wounds when I charged. But then you did 10 damage to my tantalus in combat with your Corvus hammers. Ooh, spicy. But with that, you did spend 3 command points basically right now. So you're down to 1. I still have my 2 command points. As for points, I get 3 points for behind enemy lines. I did my first retrieve data in my corner, and I haven't gotten any take them alive points yet. And I get 2 points for taking an objective that I didn't control. And were the Desolation Marines on that objective?
Were they? No, they were not.
So I don't get any additional bonuses for that. So it is now on to Matthew's turn. Matthew, you have a bunch of stuff in your face, but you do have second turn. So you can like just focus on killing and then scoring later in the game.
And that's why I think second or bottom of turn was so important to me, just to deal with this. I have to accept Skari's going to take a 12 from me. I got to accept that. I'm going to take a 12 from him, but I know it's going to be at the end.
Yep.
So as long as I can prevent that second 12, I think I'm okay.
Yep.
But yeah, it's plasma death time.
Plasma
and we'll go from there.
A whole bunch of death time. So with that, on to Dark Angel's turn, number 1. So you did debate a few things in this movement phase, mainly how to use your command points. So what is your thought process for everybody at home? So
again, I'm trying to score behind enemy line, so I had to dedicate a CP, technically in the shooting phase, but we're doing it a little early to get him in behind enemy lines. Yep. And then I had a CP to rescue my infiltrators.
Now the CP he's using is instead of shooting, basically
I move
again.
Yes,
basically.
12 inches I move as a RavenWing.
So you've got what, like 18-inch move plus an advance plus you can
plus the 3. So 18 plus 3 plus
12
plus an advance plus 12.
So you can just go all the way over there. 1 command point, excellent for scoring, kind of like Reaver jet bikes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the real question is target priority, which is what we're thinking about generally. But the idea is we need to clear the vehicles. We need to clear what's in the vehicles this turn and prepare for the rest of the game for the move forward.
Yeah, so the Desolator stayed put.
Correct. So now they're getting
backwards.
And they are going to do my data in this quarter, provided they pass.
You did spend a command point to get your infiltrators
Correct.
into guerrilla tactics before I got within 6 inches of them and stopped you from being able to
Correct.
do that. You have your big Black Knight unit that is now got full rerolls thanks to Samael.
Correct.
You got your multi-melt attack bikes. You got the Talon Master. You've got Samael. You're basically ready to repel the invaders. Okay. So after the shooting phase, pretty sure I think that's dead at least. Probably 1, maybe both of these will also be dead. And then some of the stuff inside.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see as the Space Marines kill the Xenos. Midway through the shooting phase, checkpoint. So multi-melta shot here, didn't kill it, but did wound it. Samael shot here, didn't kill it. And then this squad, overcharged, did finally kill it. However, roll a 6, it explodes.
And now
6 inches, D6 mortal wounds to everything. Sadly, my mandrakes are just within 6 inches of the fin tip. And so is your apothecaries. Your apothecary, the 2 units of bikes, this unit of my bikes, and 1 unit of your desolators. Whew. I'm going to start with the apothecary.
Okay.
If he dies, then there's no feel no pains for any of this. Okay. Apothecary takes D6. 4.
Okay, he's going to live.
It won't kill him.
So, do we save any?
He
takes
1. 3.
So he's down to 2.
Excellent. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and do my mandrakes.
Okay.
Yes, okay. I only lost 2. Good. I didn't want to lose the whole squad. Let's do my bikes back there. 3. So 1 and 1 has a wound remaining. Let's keep the sergeant on there. And 1 has a wound. Okay, now the fun ones. This unit of bikes. 1.
1. Okay. 6.
Sad. 1 damage.
Okay.
The other unit of bikes that can't shoot this turn. 1 as well.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Come on, into the desolators. Only three of the Desolators.
Well, I could lose one right here, so let's see.
Yeah. And the third one. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we lose
3
one.
damage onto the Desolators. Could have been worse on your
which guy
end.
do I wanna
I'm glad that
lose?
Apothecary only has
I
2
have to
wounds
lose
remaining.
the Sergeant, I think.
Take that.
All right,
And with that, I have to get 10 models out. Well, we're almost at the end of your shooting phase.
Almost.
Now, I did lose that Tantalus. Not early, like you saw when it exploded. Other shooting happened. Got this down to 3 wounds remaining, but it was like an awkward number of activations that got you to 3 turns.
Correct.
So you're on your second to last shooting, which is the first unit of Desolators. You finally kill this. I exploded it. I mean, it blew up. So it's going to go nuclear again. It's going to hit my Hellions. It's going to hit the Venom. It's going to hit the Clawfiend. Going to hit the other. It's going to hit this one unit as well. It's not going to hit anything back here. What a mess. And then the Bloodbrides get out. And then the other crack rockets took 11 wounds off of that Tantalus. So you've pretty much almost done what you needed to do like early on.
Just the backwards way of doing it.
It was. You probably should have just started with the Desolation rings.
Yes.
Just like...
Well, 2s rerolling 1s is just, you know.
Nuts is what it is.
Secretly broken.
Okay,
No,
let's see how many they take. 2.
All right.
There's one with 2 wounds left, so I might get him. The Apothecary might save one.
Oh, it's
Not
winked at
today.
me. All right.
Okay, dead. Okay. My Clawfiend. Actually, let's do my Hellions. My Hellions take 6 mortal wounds. 3 Hellions just explode. Bam! Wah. My Clawfiend takes 2 damage. My Venom takes 1 damage. The other Tantalus takes 2 damage. So he's down to 5 remaining.
Correct.
Okay, and I think nothing else is in range. So let's get these Bloodbrides out. But you still have 1 more Desolation Marine squad to shoot. Well, the last Desolation squad did kill the Tantalus. That was a given. 5 wounds left. It just murdered. That's why you have to kill those Desolation squads. They are madness. And the other ones killed pretty much the entire squad of Bloodbrides, even with the lightning fast reactions. And there are 2 remaining. So it is the basically the end of the turn. Now, because you overcharged all your Black Knights over here, you did lose a few.
2.
And it is messing with your coherency. So you might actually lose a couple of models in the coherency check here, because you have to be within 2 inches of 2 separate models.
So he's gone right here. And this guy's gone. He's gone.
I believe he would be as well.
Yeah.
So he goes. Is he within 2 of 2?
Ooh. Oh no.
Right. So he goes as well.
And then he goes as well.
No, because he would have to be in coherency when you moved, because that's kind of how you built it.
Okay,
so you go up to 5, down to 5 models, just because of some bad overheating plasma rolls that ended up leading to a coherency check, which is not the spiciest for Matthew. Okay, and now trying to do your retrieve data.
All right, let's see if I have some luck. So anything other than a 6, I'm okay. But the way this game is going,
we have no clue.
There we go.
You did your data.
Yes.
So you're getting, right now, you've gotten so many no prisoner points. You just spend both your CP.
Yes.
I'm spending both my CP to automatically pass morale on the Bloodbrides, so I can stick you this objective. It's the only reason I'm doing that. And I'm going to go ahead and you get 3 points for behind enemy lines, because your little speeders back there, and you got your first data, and you did not hold an objective that you didn't already hold.
But I did kill stuff that was holding an objective,
so you get 2 points for that. Yeah, so 2 points for that as well. And with that is the end of turn number 1, and it feels pretty crazy. And now we go into turn number 2 for the Dark Eldar. Now, I did lose basically my entire unit of Bloodbrides, the other big unit of 10, and all 3 Tantaluses, which is about 1,000 points of my army. However, I'm in a decent position. You've definitely lost a few things.
Yeah, I'm probably close to 1,000 points lost myself.
So that's pretty crazy. But now you don't have any CP to interrupt next turn.
Correct.
And that is going to be what I need to capitalize on, because both of my succubus are going to come and play now. Turn 2, movement phase. Let's dive right in. This is going to be either do or die for the witches. Either I kill enough stuff and I pin you in your zone again so you can't come back to get back into this game, or I bounce and then you have 4 turns to just table me and score your points.
Exactly.
That's literally how this is going to go. So I'm sending my Chimera, Squad of Witches, and Claude Fiend into that multi-melter land speeder, hopefully killing it. This Squad of Witches is doing my retrieve data in that corner over there. I have stickied that objective, this objective, and this objective. So you physically have to take them away from me. This unit of Witches is staying in that Venom and just moving this way. Just get some shots in. Advance and charge with the RavenWing Flux thanks to the Beast Pack Master. So they did move their full 18 inches up, which is great. He just moved up 14. He's going to lob a grenade to give me +1 to hit, to basically turn my power from pain +1. The Hellions did advance up, not as fast as I wanted to, but that's about as far as they could go. They need a 6-inch charge to get into the Apothecary and basically everything else here. They're going to be a big part of trying to stop that from happening. You know, try to get in and stay outside of 3 inches of Samael so he doesn't like heroic or do anything fancy. And then I've got the Reaver Jet Bikes did advance up. I got the Witches out of that Venom. The Venom got out to essentially soak up the Overwatch from the Talon Master because you do have 1 command point.
Correct.
And then she, Succubus, advanced 13 inches up. Gonna potentially charge into here, piling, consolidate. I'm gonna basically go into the attack bikes and try hold them in combat. I think is what I'm gonna try and do. And then over here I've got this Succubus as well, when I've got 2 blast pistols together with the Blood Bride. So I feel like I have a decent amount of potential damage. Let's come back and see what happens after my shooting phase. The shooting phase was okay. I'm not, my blast pistols didn't really do what I hoped them to do, but I did shoot a lot into the unit of 5 and essentially over killing quite a few. I did bring them down to 1 remaining with blasters, the Venoms, basically focusing my fire on 1 target to try and bring it down. This does open up a little bit of space here, which is great. And with that, we're going to do some charges. The first one I'm going to, of course, declare is that Venom is just going to target whatever he can to get into him. So he's going to be like him, and then maybe he has to target him as well. Would you like to Overwatch my Venom?
Is there anybody in it?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Saving your CP for like a roll or something special
Yes.
next turn or something.
Yes.
Okay. And here we are after the charge phase. Oh, the Hellions with a reroll. 6-inch charge into the Apothecary. Failed that charge with a reroll. Oh no. Anyway, so they're stuck. But everything else did make it in, and I did roll very high on the Succubus, 11 inches. We came all the way around. That is very, very useful, because now I can potentially go and tackle this unit as well, which I'm very excited about. The Birds did have to spend my command point to reroll a charge from here into the Scouts. They're essentially going to be jumping into here and trying to essentially clog up the works with all of these Desolation Marines. So we'll see what we can do with that as well. So you don't have any command points to interrupt. You do have a command point for next turn. On the far turn, I am trying to, attack you. Even if I don't kill you, I hope to try and hold you in combat at least to stop the Desolation Marines from like shooting them or whatever. But this is an absolute bloodbath, and I'm having a ton of fun so far. Okay, so with that, let's go into the attack phase. We'll just come back to see how it looks afterwards. End of the charge phase. Well, it didn't go exactly as I would have hoped. However, it was close. She, with the Bloodglaive, failed to wound with all of her attacks except for like 2, and then 1 save. So she didn't kill. She killed like not even a bike because of the feel no pains. The Blood Brides actually killed more than she did, which is funny. The Birds, though, MVPs killed 4 Scouts, which was awesome. And then in retaliation, lost 2 flocks and put 1 wound on another. They're great tar pit. They're within 6 inches of the Beast Pack Master, so they're leadership 9 right now, which means they're not going anywhere. They're just going to stay there. I left 1 bike with 1 wound out of that unit. And then, that was the most frustrating one because she almost killed the entire squad, but did not, sadly.
All right, so should we start with morale on him?
Let's do morale.
Okay, so he's leadership 8.
Yeah, he lost
4. So a 5 or a 6, I got problems. Okay, he's
holds.
good.
That means there's going to be another friend there.
So leadership 8 there as well. These guys lost 3.
They did.
They're okay.
Good as well.
Scouty Scout, leadership 8.
Lost
so
4.
5 and a 6.
He
Okay,
holds.
we're all right.
Very nice. Good job. However, at the end of the turn, I did kill a unit that was on an objective.
Mm-hmm.
I did hold an objective I don't hold, or / all the objectives on the table. I think I get my bonus points there. As for, I should have taken no prisoners in retrospect, because I'm killing a lot in shooting and in combat.
Oh, and I give it up hard, like really hard.
So take them alive was the wrong choice. However, I do get 1 take them alive point because they killed 1, and I get another take them alive point because this unit died in combat of it. Yes, 2 take them alive points, which is actually, I'm glad that we do this in testing, seeing what works and what doesn't. In retrospect, I should have just taken no prisoners against the million bikes. Now, to note, this succubus has 1 wound remaining, and this succubus has 1 wound remaining. Uh-oh. So we'll see what happens as we move into turn 2 for... I can't believe this is turn 2.
Yeah, this has been the longest first 2 turns.
Insane.
Yes.
But with that, let's dive into turn 2 for the Dark Angels. Let's see what they can do. If they can push out and kill the Hellions, I think they're in a good spot. If they can't kill the Hellions, I think I've got it. But let's kind of see how this works towards the end of the game. Well, it does feel like that. But it's not. It's turn 2. Let's dive into turn 2. End of the movement phase. For turn 2, well, I won the roll-off here, so you can't fall back. Yep. I won the roll-off with the attack bikes and the multi-melter, land spears, so you couldn't fall back there. And you put all the rerolls on the attack bikes.
Correct. So the attack bikes can't do anything.
There. Yeah. Now, you've got 1 unit with the Vanguard launcher in combat with birds. You have another unit with cracks, just looking at a venom. And then you spent a CP to fall back and be able to shoot with this Talonmaster, who's just looking hungrily at all these Hellions. So with that, we're going to go into shooting. You basically have to try and kill those witches, the venom, and the Hellions. And then of course they came in and they're doing your data in that corner.
Correct.
So you'll have your 2 corners done for retrieve battlefield data. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Let's dive into it. End of the shooting phase. The Talonmaster by himself killed all the Hellions. Just absolutely murdered them. Then the cracks shot the venom, killed the witches, and then you put a couple of wounds on that venom there. And the multi-melter attack land spear killed the 2
I was lucky on that, hitting on 4s, but hey, it worked out.
Okay, good. So now you've got them charging in. You can have 1 to attack the witch. You're trying to get my 2 witches out of the equation, which will really help you in the late game because they do a lot of damage. So Samael trying to attack her, and then this 1 bike that can get a range trying to attack her as well. So let's see if they survive. I do have 1 command point, so we'll see what happens. Samael attacked first and did kill the Triptych Whip Succubus. I did lightning fast reactions with my command point on her.
Saved you 1. Yeah.
1 wound. I don't have any more CP to reroll. 1 4-up save on my Bloodglaive. Will she dance danger away and come back and really help me in the mid to late game? She does. Okay, good job. She survives. That's all I wanted to show off because she's cool. And then right away decides to attack with her 8 attacks with Quicksilver Fighter, 2 wounds only, and then 1 guy soaked up with some feel no pains.
Yes, so the Hellions failing that charge
was massive.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I told you it was massive. Yeah. And then she has to take 1 more save from another Corvus Hammer. Does she survive her 2nd Corvus Hammer hit? No, she is going to go down. Both succubuses are officially dead. And now I get to attack with my birds and then my Beastpack Monster. We come back at the end of the fight phase. You did kill 1 more bird, but I am within 6 inches, so I get leadership 9. So the birds are okay. The Blood Brides are still alive against all odds. And the Beastpack Monster did nothing to your last.
Very lucky, though, on the Feel No Pains yet again.
But it was all good. You get another retrieve data in that corner.
Correct.
So that'll give you basically 4 points on that. And you did kill a unit on an objective, and you took 1 you didn't control. So that'll give you 3 bonus points to help round that out. So with that, we're on to turn number 3. I do get my second 12. This is spicy. Let's see if I have just enough gas left in the tank to frustrate you. Just enough. Because my Take Them Alive is actually going to come bite me in the butt because you definitely took better secondaries than me, and that's going to offset any primary score that I might get up. So towards the end of the game in 5 turns, I think you're going to squeak it out by a couple of points. That's what my gut's telling me, but I cannot wait to show you basically how the math turns out. As I told you, gasoline, and then it burns really hot and fast, and then it's done. And it's turn 3, and I have almost nothing left. That's about right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Dark Eldar turn number 3. End of my movement phase. Blood Brides moving up. This Witch squad just moved up. They moved 10 inches out of this, so 13 inches up essentially. The Venom moved up to touch the terrain to see those infiltrators to try and knock down potentially their helix or potentially shoot over here if needed. The Chimera did move up into more of a centralized position. The Claude Fiend needs an 11-inch charge into them. They need a 9, and that Witch unit also moved up. I'm going to try gang up on the Infiltrator squad, see if I can keep some of my units alive towards the end of the game. The Mandrakes came back down, and they're going to do my retrieve data. 1, 2, 3, 4 to be able to do it in this corner, because I did lose 2 to an explosion, sadly. And I'm running out of tools. I do have 2 command points over here, so I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 for fullback and charge with my Beastpack Master. However, the birds were outside of combat from the Desolators, so they're going to just try and hop in as well, potentially try and kill something for a point, basically, is what it's going to come down to. Okay, so with that, let's dive in to combats and stuff. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. And shooting. Oh, my goodness. It's crazy. I can't wait to add it all up, because it is. I'm very curious. Very, very curious. Charge phase, you do have enough command points to interrupt.
Correct.
So I have to be careful about this stuff. So the 2 Blood Brides are going to the 1 bike here. They're going to go into this bike squad here. The Beastpack Master chose not to charge in because I want to make sure that they have leadership 9. I'm trying to make sure that I get my behind enemy lines, basically, is what my big point here is. I stayed outside of 3 inches of him, and I think I'm going to go ahead, and the thing I need to attack with are this squad right here. So I need to pile in, attack, try and kill them, and then pile in onto your objective to try and deny you primary once again. I think that's the most important part. So I can't afford for you to interrupt there, essentially, is what it comes down to. Well, the 5 witches did kill 4 wounds with a bike. Nice. That was not bad. And then you are using your 2 command points to interrupt.
Correct.
And you're going to try and interrupt over here. And you know what? I'm going to spend 1 command point to lightning fast reactions to try and keep those witches alive and just try and tie up that squad as long as possible. So you hit on 3s because you're a Dark Angel. You get +1 to hit.
Correct.
Because you did not move. Okay. And then we'll come back after that, and then I've got my Blood Brides and my birds to fight, and then we'll see what happens. Right at the end of the combat phase, well, those witches survived. They only lost 2. The Blood Brides killed the 1 bike here and then piled into the Apothecary. That's big. That's not bad. And then I've done 1 wound, successful wound into him with AP 1 from the RavenWings.
Oh, 5 up save.
5 up save to see if they kill him. Do they poke his eyes out? They do.
There you go. 3 points. That turns
Get out of here, little guys. Get out of here. Okay. And then you've got, is it 4 attacks for each of these bikes, or is it 3 attacks?
If they were charged, it'd be 3 attacks.
Okay. Okay, they have reroll, hit roll still, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now the key here is, now that I have all my things there, I want to force you to use your CP and, be silly. So I'm going to go ahead and it's either pile into them or pile into them. The Desolators, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pile into the bikes because they're the faster one. So I'm gonna let you fight me with some bikes there. Well, the attack bikes did 8 wounds to the birds, and they killed them.
They've almost been better in combat than they've been in shooting.
They definitely did. This witch unit is fine. They did kill. You did lose 3 interceptors though, so your leadership 8 with your
Correct.
sergeant.
So on a 6.
On a 6, you will flee. They hold. So nothing there. I did though get 1, 2, 3 more points to take them alive, which is actually good because I was struggling with that secondary. And this bike unit that I killed was not on that objective, so I only get the 2 as well.
Okay.
So that's over there. So I will get 2 points for primary because I didn't kill the unit that was on an objective, like 2 bonus points. Mm-hmm. I have to roll now for my mandrakes.
Okay.
On a 1, 2, 3, 4, I get my points. They rolled a 2.
There you go.
They successfully retrieve the buttons. Good job, button pressers. And that's yours. I don't know why I put it on.
Yeah, don't worry.
Awesome. That brings me up to an 8 there. I do get 4 more points for behind enemy lines, and I will get an additional command point at the end of the battle round, and I got 3 points for take them alive. Whew. Okay, so with that, I successfully dropped you to a 0 again, which was massive. And with that, we will go on to turn. You got 3 points for bonus last turn. There we go. And you have 0 command points, and you go up to 1, and I go up to 1 as well. Okay, let's do this. Turn number 3 for the Dark Angels, and I told you, it's a bloodbath. It is an absolute bloodbath.
Yes, there's so little left, and we're still so early in this game.
I know, it's only turn 3.
So early in this game.
I know, it's crazy how nuts it is. Okay, let's see what happens. You get a command point. Let's do the movements and all that good stuff. End of the movement phase. Matthew, what have you done here?
So the Desolation Squad slowly making their way to do a data. Yep. The other Desolation Squad, we just resurrected a guy with our Apothecary. Apothecary couldn't fall back, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've won that roll-up, but you're going to be able to shoot them, potentially charge into the
correct.
Back there.
Samael's holding on to this objective, either to get rid of the witches or charge whichever way he needs to charge. These guys are just going to have to hope.
They also got stuck with the witches.
Correct. And my bikes have gone over there to try to take the middle objective away.
They advanced like 23 inches.
Yes.
Up. They're so fast.
And Talony the Talon Master had to do the special RavenWing strat for the extra movement in the shooting phase. We've done it now. So now he is back here just getting me behind enemy lines for a couple points.
Yep. You won't be able to shoot. However, you because it's so tight and I've really tackled your primary scoring, you really need to try to come back from it.
Exactly, yeah. And the remaining land speeder, he's here. He's holding this objective in hopes to pop a couple of the mandrakes off.
Windows back there, so
and the launchers are there as well, and they may also be able to help me with those. With the mandrakes over there.
Okay, so let's take a look at the shooting phase, but I can't believe this is turn 3. Let us know with a comment down below. What would you do if you felt the pressure? We'll talk about it in the post-game, but Matthew was very calm and collected, and a lot of people would panic when there's 3 tantaluses and 40 witches in their face.
Compliments to me, I was still panicked.
Yeah. Let's see what they do in the shooting phase. End of the shooting phase / movement. What did you end up doing with shooting?
Well, maybe I ended up killing this little squad of witches.
Yep.
I ended up killing the Beastmaster. I ended up putting some big wounds into this squad over here. Yep. Ended up killing the Venom.
You're killing 3 out of the 4 mandrakes.
Exactly. So that one hurt a little bit. Was hoping to end the mandrakes.
I was hoping that 1 more would survive, so I get another 12. But sadly, that is not to be the case. So now you've got some charges. You've got I've got 2 blood brides that can try and stick around, and he can't charge, and they can't charge. And then we've got that combat that's ongoing against the infiltrators, and then we'll be at the end of turn 3. Whew. And that's the end of the turn. I do owe you a morale on them because I'm still not fearless exactly. They lost 3. He's leadership 7.
Okay, it's good.
Okay.
Right.
Over there, I did kill 1 of the Helix, and you did not kill anybody in return. And you did kill the Blood Bride. So you will be getting 3 more behind me lines. You did not get data this turn. You do take an objective and kill a unit that's on an objective. So you got 3 bonus points there. And I do owe you a... Oh, no, they lost 3 in their leadership 9 thanks to the leadership drug.
Yep.
So they are okay. So going on to turn number 4. What a mess.
Yeah.
Turn number 4, and I will get an 8 points. Because now I only hold that one, and that one is contested as well. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Turn number 4 for the Drukhari. I do not have much to do. My Mandrake is going to stay on the objective to stop you from scoring it. I am going to move the Claude Fiend and the Chimera on there to put 3 models to your 3 to contest that objective as well. And then we measured it out. They moved up their 8. They're going to shoot. They're going to fire and fade 7 inches to get into your deployment zone for 3 more points for behind enemy lines. And then at the end here, I just have those 2 witches trying to fight in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do their little pistols and then fight in combat, and we'll see just on camera what it does. So pistols. I hit twice, and you take 1 armor save with no AP.
Save.
Okay, and then I guess you get to fight me first there. But I'm going to shoot them into them. So 2 shots, not going to really matter. And then I will fire and fade them into your deployment zone. With my 2 command points because of my... because I have 1 extra command point because I had troops in your deployment zone. Nice. And that's that. I lost 1 witch. You still have a sergeant there. I got my 3 points for behind enemy lines, and I successfully dropped you down to 4 points. You do hold that objective. You do not hold this one. You do not hold this one. That might be the straw that broke the camel's back. So we will see, because I'm not getting any more take them alive points. And you're going to get as many no prisoner points as you can, because you're literally going to table me. But we're on to your 4th turn. And I did not hold an objective I didn't hold, which means I'm not going to get any bonus points either. Okay, so on to turn number 4 for the Dark Angels. Now it's into the nitty-gritty, just point scoring stuff.
Oh.
So quick turn number 4 here. So they advanced up because they need to be able to move in and do retrieve data in that corner because they're relatively slow. Samael's coming up to deal with that last Mandrake. The Apothecary's moving up here. These bikes advanced, just wiggle their way through to get onto that objective and get rerolls. That advanced and then is going to use the CP to take down my objective here. You're taking my objective down there as well. So putting me to a 0. You're just like, no more scoring for the witches whatsoever. And then you got some shooting. Where do you want to shoot with your stuff? Do you have an idea of what you want to... You need to take everything out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 wounds left on the table. So I feel like you should be able to do it. You know, the Talonmaster by himself can take out like these guys and that, and even them. Like whatever. The Talonmaster and the bike should be able to kill those
and
things.
the Castellan launcher
should be able to kill that. Like I'm going to be tabled by the end of this turn, so we'll come back and show you the result of that. End of the shooting phase, and that is it. So assault cannon, heavy bolter, multi-meltdown storm bolters killed everything that was here. Samael killed the last Mandrake, and then this entire Desolation squad was able to shoot and kill that one Succubus. So at the end of your turn, in terms of scoring, now he's moving on to your turn 6.
Turn 5.
Your last turn,
yeah.
Yes. So you will get, you did get a 4 that turn, and you got 3 points. And then at the end of the game, I get 0 there. I'm done with all my scoring, because that's it for me. And then you will go ahead and get a 12. You will have every objective on the table for 2, and you will max out your no prisoners. You got 4 for behind enemy lines. You get another 4 for behind enemy lines, and no retrieve data in this turn. But you need to roll the dice. Last thing, do they retrieve data? They do. Nice, bringing your grand total of data up to 8 points. And with that, that's game. We'll be back with an after action report and a points total. But what a bloodbath! And we're back with a final tally. The point difference was how many points? 3. 3 points. The Dark Angels scored 73 points, and the Dark Eldar scored 76! Yay! Oh man, what a crazy close game. I scored 27 primary and 39 secondaries to your 29 primaries and 34 secondaries. Me tackling the primary really kept me in the game. And then there was a 4-point swing when you didn't kill that.
Yes.
And I was able to stop you from scoring.
And the Castellan launchers, that hitting on 5s,
yep.
As soon as you got to move with them, their effectiveness just
Especially
plummets.
with Dark Angels.
Exactly.
+1. Okay, let's go into a little post-game. But what a close game. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what your favorite moment was, or if you would have used the army any differently. I got tabled again. This is like the 4th out of 5 games.
It doesn't matter when you win.
Correct. That's what witches do, baby. Okay, let's go to the post game. And that's game, everybody. Thanks all for hanging out. Matthew?
How's everybody? Thanks, everybody, for watching today. It's been a great game.
It was really fun. Really close. What a bloodbath. We're testing for a little tournament that you're going to. That's why the terrain was a little ad hoc, because the event you're going to has ad hoc terrain.
And I can tell you, if you've been used to playing player-placed terrain, going back to set terrain can really boggle your mind.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
It had a huge impact on how we had to play this game. But thanks a lot for watching. Of course, huge shout out to the channel Patreons, without whom none of this would be possible. The best way to support me is on Patreon. The link is in the description. The list that we used is also in the description as well. After all, enjoy your game. Yeah, that's fun. I've been Skari, your grateful host. Signing off until next time. Skari,
everyone.
The Darkin. Bye.